And welcome everyone to the Woodbridge Channel's coverage of the 51st Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm Craig Coughlin. I'll be bringing the parade with my colleague and my friend, a former parade chairman, I might add, Dan Harris. Dan, it's good to be with you.
Yeah, great to be with you, Craig. Looking forward to it. Like we were just saying, it feels like Ireland out here. Mid-50s, a little windy, but we're going to have a tremendous parade today. Over 80 units marching in the parade today, led by Grand Marshal Ed McSherry.
Now, as I said, the Woodbridge American Irish, or the actual folks who sponsor the parade and put it together, and so one of their members annually is in charge of the parade. Dan, you've been one of those parade committee chair people. Tell us what it's like.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, Kevin McCreary's done a great job with the large team. They start in September. They work every month and putting together. It's a lot of coordination, as you had pointed out, with the cooperation of the township.
Yeah, all those units, everybody coming together, and at least the weather's going to be clear today. It's going. We've had some tough days, but today is going to be a little cold, little windy, but going to be a great time, right?
Yes, absolutely. The Irish are fans of this kind of weather. This is pretty typical back in our homeland. But, the people of Woodbridge are always very supportive, really, regardless of the weather.
So it's a great day to celebrate your Irish heritage, and a great day to enjoy the parade if you're not Irish. So sit back, everybody, relax. Let's have a great time, and the parade will get started in just a few minutes.
Good afternoon, Woodbridge. Welcome to the 51st Annual Parade. I'll be joined here shortly by Craig Coughlin. My name is Dan Harris. I'll be bringing you all the action of the 51st Annual Parade. We have over 80 units coming in the parade this year, slightly down from last year, but it's going to be a robust parade on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in downtown Woodbridge. Not quite into focus yet is the group, so I'm going to give you some history. Why do we have St. Patrick's Day parades? So St. Patrick is the patron saint of Ireland. He was a 5th century Christian missionary who died on March 17th of 461. Hence, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on March 17th annually. So we're here 8 days away from the official date. While never officially canonized as a saint, he's long been heralded for his missionary work in Ireland. The day is often celebrated with parades and other festivities, with the first happening in North America in 1601 in St. Augustine, Florida, followed later by parades in Boston, New York City, and so on. There's parades throughout the country, including all the way down to Savannah, Georgia. Coming into view here is our first group. We have the Central Jersey Leathernecks Marine Corps League, joined by fellow Marine Corps groups, the Corporal Kevin Reinhardt Marine Corps Detachment and the John Basilone Marine Corps League. We were officially joined also by the New Jersey State Commandant Michael Wallach. They join us here every year as a kickoff to the parade. Woodbridge, as any resident knows, we are dedicated to our veterans, and we're very proud and pleased to have them here in the parade. In New Jersey, Woodbridge's parade is just one of 30 throughout the state, and 2 in Middlesex County. Next Sunday, the 16th, will be the annual South Amboy St. Patrick's Day Parade. If you're so interested, that begins at 2 p.m. Marines pausing for a salute. Not far behind them will be the New Jersey Young Marines carrying the American flag. They usually stop in front of the reviewing podium for a pause and a moment of silence, which we'll recognize here momentarily. Continuing on is the Marine Corps Leagues, the 3 joint groups joining us here. A quick tidbit on John Basilone. He is from Raritan, New Jersey. He was a United States Marine who was honored with a Medal of Honor, did the USO tour during World War II, and then was itchy to get back into action, where he unfortunately perished on Iwo Jima, an island in the South Pacific, and he was honored with the Navy Cross. True American hero. All right, here comes the New Jersey Young Marines coming into focus. About 30 students. It's an after-school program founded by John Eberhart back in 2018, and Eric Ransom, a detective who has unfortunately since passed. They use this program to teach students self-discipline, responsibility, and being responsible role models. Here in New Jersey, 1 in 10 residents of the Garden State can trace their roots to the Emerald Island's 32 counties. Nationally, those numbers stack up with about 1 in 10 Americans having Irish ancestry. Let's pause for a moment as the young Marines do a salute. All right, there they go. In New Jersey, Irish are the second most common ancestry in New Jersey, behind Italians, with about 1.1 million residents, or 13% reporting a familial connection with Ireland. All right, coming into focus is the Woodbridge Township elected officials, led by the Honorable John E. McCormick, former Grand Marshal of the Woodbridge St. Patrick's Day Parade back in, I believe, in 2005, 2006. He's joined there by Councilman Brian Small on your TVs there, as well as Council President Corey Spiller. Flanking them is Board Member Jenny Perez with the Board of Education. I also see County Commissioners Charlie Tamaro, Ron Rios, Charlie Kenny of here of Woodbridge. I see our State Senator Joseph Vitale walking alongside Speaker Coughlin, who again will be joining me. Congressman Pallone trails them with County Commissioner Leslie Koppel and Elaine Flynn. Oh, excuse me, not Elaine Flynn any longer. Nancy Pinkin. Can't quite catch all the faces here, but well, there's Debbie Meehan trailing behind. Looks like she's got an empty bag of candy. Typically along Linden Avenue, those early streets. Off to John at Woodbridge High School.
Okay, I'm joined now with Mayor John McCormick. Mayor, congratulations. I know this is not a parade Woodbridge Township puts on, but the American Irish do, but you're also a member of them. But still, well done by the township. Obviously, a lot of support that you'll have to put behind, whether it's the police or whether it's CERT, all the emergency services, Public Works, all coming together. TV 35, Woodbridge channels as well. But what kind of pride do you have in a day like today for here at Woodbridge?
I just get goosebumps thinking about today. It is not a township event, like you said this morning at the flag raising. Made it a point of saying it's the American Irish Association of Woodbridge who run this parade. We help. We have to help. With, like you said, you took all the words out of my mouth. Police, Public Works, TV 35, everything to help them out. But with what they do for our community, between tooling around the town and building ramps for people and scholarships and veterans home visits, you name it, they're just a great group. They got the key to Woodbridge Township several years ago. Eddie McSherry's not only a wonderful Grand Marshal, he got his own key to the township. So this is a group that I love being part of, but they deserve all the accolades they get today because all this work here is them. We're out there, like you say, directing traffic, cleaning up after on Main Street, but everything else is the American Irish Association. They're terrific.
Oh, absolutely. They have a home now, Acacia.
Yes.
The Acacia Center, you were involved in getting them a home. What people don't realize is what they do throughout the year. It's just not the parade. It's not just the halfway. It's the rampers, as you were referring to, Eddie.
Yeah, they're great.
And they clean up the Shaughnessy Park cleanup program.
Right.
They do
that one, yeah.
They do a lot for the township that people just don't realize, and they're kind of almost like an unsung hero because they're not out there patting themselves on the back.
They're not. They're not.
And then you look at year after year. They come up with a lineup of honorees. This year, again, spectacular. It always is. They always have great people to honor. You've got to at least give a plug out to your guy, Grand Marshal this year, Ed McSherry.
Eddie's the best. Him and I started almost the same day in 1992 working for the town, January of 1992. He just retired. I'm sticking around for a while. But what he's meant to the town is just amazing. I told the story about the ramp he did for a little 3-year-old boy who can't walk. And that means the mom is always in and out of the stroller. And when she wants to leave the house, she's either got to bring the kid down and go down the stairs with him and put him on the ground and go back and get the stroller, or push him in the stroller down the stairs, which is not the safest thing in the world. And I just stopped out to take pictures. And when that kid in the stroller went down that ramp for the first time, I still get goosebumps thinking about it. It was so cool what that meant for that family, because a 3-year-old is going to soon be a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, and it'll be too big to carry and just keep moving around. And the woman, the mom, oh my gosh, what a feeling. And that's Eddie and the Rampers. Yeah. That's the Irish Club. They do this once a month, more than once a month sometimes, giving up a Saturday morning for a bunch of hours. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, they have like the creme brulee of membership. They really do. And then they put together such a nice list of honorees today. So listen, we're going to...
Foley, Sean Daly, who I didn't even know a few years ago, but he ran the last parade, and he was the assistant for the two before that, learning the ropes.
Yep.
What a great guy. Peggy Foley, what a great lady. They're wonderful people.
By the way, you gotta take notice to Sean Daly's sneakers. Have you seen them?
I did. They're green.
They are.
They're nice.
Shamrocks.
They're nice.
They're great. They really are.
I wish I could wear sneakers, but I can't. I'm the mayor. I can't wear sneakers. But if I could, I would wear green.
Well, he's off and running today, especially with the honor he's getting as well. But listen, Mayor, we're going to let you go. We'll see you along the parade route. We're going to go back with Dan and Craig right now.
Thanks very much.
Craig, welcome aboard. How was the walk?
It was terrific. There is scores and scores, hundreds of people, literally hundreds of people along the way. As you see as we look up Main Street, that way on Linden and really throughout the parade route on 35, terrific amount of people out. It's a nice day. It's a nice day for a walk. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about you? How was the parade so far?
Oh, the parade's been great. I've had a terrific experience. Got a great crowd down here on Main Street. I even walked the route on my walk from the top of the parade down to the bottom here.
Right.
And kicked off, gave a little Irish history on why we do these St. Patrick's Day parades.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, rattled off the elected officials. And, coming into focus here is our first pipe band, St. Brandon's Pipes and Drums.
There we go.
Let you catch up there.
Yeah, trying to find what we have about St. Brandon.
Yeah, St. Brandon. They didn't provide a whole lot of information. But they're in the parade annually. I remember them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're out of Ocean County. I think that's where this group comes from.
That is true.
Looks like they have a hardy group in front of us here.
Let's see if they play something. Usually they do to get us in the spirit.
Sure. And kicking off the top of the order with our honorees, which we've got a lot of information on. We'll be rattling off
as we go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you know what? I should mention this. The parade, and the mayor emphasizes this, the Woodbridge American Irish Association puts on this parade. But as a former parade chair, it could not happen without the assistance of the township, whether that's TV 35, in which we're on today, or it's Public Works, or it's the police department, or it's the CERT team, or it's even the emergency squads who are helping us out, keeping the flow of things.
And as you were right, Daniel, as you see, there's St. Brandon's, and they are from Point Pleasant.
There we go. All right, well, I'll give a plug for the American Irish Association here. They were founded in 1966 by Michael McGovern and Joe Jackson to unite the Irish and Irish Americans. Today, that organization, almost 60 years old now, has about 400 members and growing. We welcome new members. You don't have to be Irish. We even have our new clubhouse. It's located behind the Acacia Center, sort of condominiumized. We have a unit and a bar in the back at 95 Port Reading Avenue. And if you're interested in joining, www.americanirish.com. Here's Ed McSherry, speaker.
There he is, the Grand Marshal of this year's parade, Ed McSherry, past association president, served as captain of the annual tooling around town. Ed is just a tremendous guy. Two words come to mind when anybody who knows him talks about Ed McSherry. Great guy, and that is really who he is. He's become known as the unofficial Eddie and the Rampers because he builds throughout the year, not just during tooling around the time. He puts up ramps for people who need in town. He just retired from the Public Works Department. His grandson of Irish immigrants from County Sligo. He's the father of 4 adult sons, a devout St. James Catholic Church parishioner. Dan.
Yeah, and what a guy. He also helps me out with the semi-annual Charlie Shaughnessy cleanup, one of the things that the Irish does annually. Oh, looks like we got a pause in the parade here. Actually gives me a chance to introduce our first guest, John McCormick.
There we are.
John's going to grab the headset here. We're also joined by Joe Vitale. But I'll tell you a little bit more about the Irish. Very active in Woodbridge, and John could speak to that as well. But, regularly volunteers at the Menlo Park Veterans Home, doing bingo, raising money, buying the veterans new clothes, or providing entertainment. We raise money for scholarships for Township's high school students. We do tooling around the Township, as Craig mentioned. There's a semi-annual cleanup. And, again, tooling around the Township. And most importantly, we have fun.
Exactly right.
You know Ed McSherry well, right, Mayor?
I've known him since 1992. He started working for the town the same month I did, January of 1992. Great guy. We're about the same age. We're both Irish. We're both very handsome. We're both funny. We're both, McSherry and McCormick. What's not to like about Eddie McSherry? And like you said, the things he does, the ramps are amazing. I said it before. 3-year-old about a month ago in Forge did a ramp for a 3-year-old who can't walk. And the mom now has to pick him up and down the stairs and move the stroller and the wheelchair, and it's really a hassle. And that's what a 3-year-old, wait till the kid's 10, and now there's a ramp. And they were crying when they went down the ramp for the first time. But that's what Eddie and the Irish Club does.
And they make a difference in people's lives, and something like that makes a difference in somebody's lives every day.
Right. It changed a woman's life, and her mother, unbelievably.
We just saw Sean Daly, the Irish Man of the Year. We still see him on the screen. He's this year's Irish Man of the Year, longtime Irish Association member, last year's parade committee chairman. That's something that you have had, Dan.
Yep, 2 years before that he assisted, so he learned the ropes and then did a great job last year. This was the fastest parade I think I remember. We kicked off at 1:32, and I landed at the reviewing stand at 2:02. That's 30 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you were about a mile and a half ahead of everybody. You couldn't even hear the music.
No, I couldn't even hear the bagpipers because the Marines, the kids with the flag, they're all like 18 years old. They're zipping, and we're way behind them. And then the bagpipers go slow. So anyway, it was great. It was great. A lot of people out today. A lot of people.
Up. So everybody knows. Sean Daly was also with a past president of the Family Home Association at the Assumption Catholic School, a member of Perth Amboy Hibernians and Knights of Columbus, and an usher at St. James. Big St. James presence here between Eddie and Sean.
Right.
And he has led various Irish-American Irish Association programs and events, running back to pancake breakfast, picnic grills, Christmas bazaars, trucks, and bowling teams. His wife Connie and his 2 kids were with him, Natalie and Brian. Congratulations, Sean.
Right. Well, I got some real heavy hitters behind me here. I got Congressman Frank Pallone. I got State Senator Joe Vitale. So I'm going to give up the microphone. I had it this morning. I had it enough. So here we go, Congressman Frank Pallone.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Also want to recognize Peg Foley. She's this year's Irish Woman of the Year. She was currently she serves as an ESL instructor with New Jersey Literacy. She's previously run the St. James Food Pantry. She's currently the association treasurer, and she's done a lot with the association, the dinner dance, the Veterans Program, the scholarship, the halfway to St. Patrick's Day. Born and raised in New York City, and really one of her most unique aspects, one of her ancestors, Patrick Persay, was a leader of the 1916 Easter Rebellion. And as Craig pointed out, we're joined here by Joe Vitale while we listen to some bagpipers. Joe, how was your parade?
Parade was great, as always, and we've been here, come every year, and I tell you, this is probably and every year it's well attended by the public. There wasn't, one street from the beginning of the parade route to the end, there wasn't at least 2 or 3 or 4 people deep. So it had to be one of the best attended, and they're always well attended. So, but the weather is terrific, a little breezy, but a lot of organizations are out here, and really thank God and God bless the American Irish for their leadership in this and putting it together, and all those who participated in it, our veterans and school kids and other civic organizations. It's a terrific time to celebrate, to recognize the Irish heritage and all that community has meant to our country and to our community here in Woodbridge. So we're grateful to be here and representing you in the State Senate for now 28 years. And let me pass it off to Congressman Pallone, who has been representing us for far longer than that, Congressman.
Thank you, Joe. Oh, I'm having a great time, I have to say. Sea of green. You see green all over. And as you said, it's a beautiful day. I mean, there's barely a cloud in the sky. I also think, look, obviously St. Patrick's Day and the parade are all about Irish pride and, the culture of Ireland. But to me, it's like the beginning of spring, and I really feel like it's spring today. So all of it's just real special with the green and Irish pride and spring. It's just a great day to celebrate. I think that's why there's so many people out here. So thanks for inviting me.
It does feel like spring. It's supposed to be a little warmer this year, and we see in front of us this week, I think it's supposed to be up to the mid-60s on Tuesday or something, and we see the American Irish Association, all their members, and we saw some in the people mover in front of them, and then we see them waving to the crowd
they're the folks, as we said, as Dan pointed out, that run the parade. We see some of the people movers. The pipe band we saw before who went by was the Middlesex County Police and Fire Pipe and Drum, celebrating their 21st anniversary this year. Their manager is Rich Van Drusen, their pipe major is Mike Bandit, and drum major is Ed Muller. So congratulations to all of them, and thanks for being in the parade. Yeah. The American Irish Association officers and directors for this year, president is Sean Keaveney, vice president is Mary Natali, treasurer is Peggy Foley, who's also the woman of the year, corresponding secretary is Dan Harris, sitting to my left, recording secretary Laura Cahill, and sergeant at arms is Pat Cahill. Directors are Ed McSherry, Ken Gardner, Ken and Nancy Egan, Joan Diaz, Cindy Jakovich. Thanks to Congressman Pallone. Going to get joined now by our Middlesex County Clerk, my colleague, former colleague, Nancy Pinkin in the Assembly. Nancy, let me give you the headset and you can say hello.
Well, thank you, Craig, and thank you, Dan Harris, for having me over and having me at the Woodbridge Parade. It's interesting because Middlesex County, we have about 860,000 plus residents.
Right.
And it's one of the most diverse areas in the country. And when you think of Ireland and all of the people that immigrated to the U.S., many of them came to our area. And one of the things that the county does is really try to incorporate all of the histories and the needs of all of our residents. We have a lot that we do with passport and notary. Mm-hmm. We have many people going back and forth. We have many people that are establishing their heritage and their citizenship in the U.S. and in Ireland, and we have that sisterhood back and forth where we really try to share that, including the economic development. We have a lot of economic development that happens in many of the businesses and the livelihoods of our residents that are happening across the ocean. So it's great to see everybody out and to really be sharing the diversity, and the people that are involved in the parade are from many different countries, not just from Ireland. So it's just great to share that heritage.
Right. Exactly. The Irish are not shy about welcoming others into their parties and their heritage, for sure. Just like very much an American institution. A couple months from now, we'll be celebrating Cinco de Mayo, and there's no barrier at the door as to who could celebrate. So we're pleased to welcome all into our festivities, recognizing our patron saint.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Previously on screen, we had Michael's Towing had brought their antique car, a 1954 Chevy Bel Air, and that beautiful turquoise. Now, who do we have in front of us, Craig?
That would be the Woodbridge High School Marching Band, the Marching Barons, under the direction of John Cohn. Approximately 52 performers with us today. They're a marching band that performs throughout the year at football games, goes into band competitions as an extracurricular activity, has a terrific record of having performed and traveled to places like Walt Disney World multiple times, on the steps of Lincoln and Jefferson Memorials in Washington, D.C. They visited Williamsburg, Cleveland, Cincinnati over the past 15 years. It's a terrific organization with many talented young people. And they get lots of accolades, which are well deserved.
Yes, yeah, they do an amazing job. And Craig, you and I go to the football games, and they add that liveliness to the games. Really, you walk in, you hear the band roaring, and what's interesting about the high school bands, they even welcome 8th graders into the program. So they have a 5-year run. Kids get exposed early, and they can be in the program for a longer period of time.
And here it is, the Woodbridge High School Spring Musical, Sister Act. Dan, you're a faithful attendee at high school plays, right?
Yeah, I try to be. My wife and I were very excited about Sister Act this year. I mean, it was a phenomenal movie, 30 years ago with Whoopi Goldberg. Truly looking forward to their performance this year. They have 4 performances, Thursday through Sunday, March 20 through March 23. The first 3 nights are 7 p.m. shows, along with a matinee on Sunday the 23rd at 2 p.m. Tickets are $13 in advance and $15 at the door. Annually, they do a little performance here, which we'll see momentarily on the screen.
They are under the direction of Kelly Terrell and Tom Lynch. And if you have an opportunity, go see him. Let's take a listen.
Let's go! It's a new year.
If we can hear.
Hear the Queen of Angels War.
I guess we can't hear. Yeah.
Taking the good work.
Well, this is what you'd have to look forward to. And if you have a chance to go get out there and support these young people, and who knows, maybe you'll get to know somebody who's there. We go in a movie.
What are we gonna do? Pray and I pray every night and each day. Hoping that you'll drop a line.
Welcome our Facebookers and YouTubers for joining us this year annually.
Live, yeah.
You are simply too divine.
Live production, Craig. We got to watch ourselves.
Take me to ecstasy.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Right.
Party-sized group of students here.
Yeah.
Guess it works out. A lot of the high school musicals, boys are too timid to try out. So Sister Act is actually kind of your perfect show because it's a program largely about women.
Were you in the school play?
I was not. No.
Okay, let's listen to them sing.
Come see our show. Go see them. They always do a great job. Sister Act. March
Thanks to our friends at El Ranchito right here on the corner of Main Street. Terrific people. Every year they welcome us in. We sit in the window outside, and they're just terrific, and we're happy to be here and thank them for their hospitality. There's a big Irish flag.
Yes.
Carried by the students from JFK.
Yes. For those unfamiliar, the Irish flag is the tricolor, with green representing the Catholics, orange representing the Protestants of Northern Ireland, and the white representing the peace between them. Every year, the JFK Memorial High School students carry the flag, and very appropriate. America's first Irish president, or first Irish Catholic president, I should say. Or I think Andrew Jackson was the first of Irish descent. Right?
Yeah. And we see here the
Miss American Irish.
Oh, that's Miss American Irish.
Yeah. Alessandra McFadden.
Sophomore at Arthur L. Johnson High School in Clark. She's the secretary of its Key Club, a member of the student council, serves on the speech and debate team, and participates in track and field. So she's kind of busy.
Very busy. And check out that family there on the float. That's really terrific. Family coming out supporting their.
Is that?
Yep.
Is that former Chief McFadden from Corneret?
That's correct. That's Jim's brother.
Yeah. Dennis McFadden.
Dennis hanging out there. That is his niece. In this instance, it's Kathy and Jim, longtime Irish members, very active. That's their granddaughter. And Alessandra's father was when I was in high school, I played football, and he was one of our assistant coaches. So it's sort of scary that he has a teenage daughter already.
Just seeing Alessandra has served as the secretary of the Key Club, contributing over 50 volunteers hours annually. So she's a very active young lady, and thank you. Good luck. You know she's going to be a success.
Yeah.
You just know it.
All right, next up we have our lady in waiting. She'll be next year's Miss American Irish. It's Caitlin Ann Driscoll. She's freshman at Middletown High School South. Her favorite place to be is on stage. Very fitting for her, sitting on top of the back of that car there, looking fabulous. She's a member of the Middletown Arts Center, where she has performed in productions of The Lion King, The Wizard of Oz, and Willy Wonka. She recently performed her first drama, Radium Girls, on her high school stage. She volunteers with the public high school, the Woodbridge Arts Center, and has worked backstage for her local elementary school spring musicals. Right. She did terrific this morning, accepting her honor, and I look forward to seeing her on stage in the future.
Right, she'd like to thank the American Irish Association, especially wants to thank her grandpa, John Reitman, for nominating her for this amazing opportunity and award. Thank you, Caitlin. Great job.
Yep.
I believe this is, right, the PACE Parents Organization?
That's correct.
PACE Parents are again, Jan, you know PACE Parents
sure.
very well. Go.
Sure. So the PACE program is a parent-led organization by parents of special needs students. But it's been active for over 50 years here in the Woodbridge Township School District. The PACE program is annually put on by the Woodbridge Township School District during the summer months for select special needs students, usually around 300 or 400 K-12 students, and they receive remedial as well as retention type educational services. So after the school year, they have a month of summer learning where they can hopefully hit the ground running once again in September. This helps with retention. So that parents organization really helps just facilitate things like a PTO.
Here we see the Legionnaires Band, Post 87, which is home to Daniel Dunn, who's a past State Department commander. That's a big deal, folks. Yeah. We're located right here in Woodbridge.
Yeah, and they're being led in by the famous Legionnaires marching band. We're organized out of Carteret, but they have musicians from here in Woodbridge. Of course, those in Carteret can capture TV 35 from their TVs, as well as those in Perth Amboy.
Yeah, there we go. The Post 87.
Yesterday, Craig, as you know, they had their oratorical contest.
I was going to be one of the judges
at Town Hall, where students can compete for scholarship opportunities by talking about the Constitution.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think they also get a trip to They work on a trip to Boys State if they're a boy, and Girls State if they're girls. Boys States and Girls States are programs run by the Legion. Very prestigious, terrific experience for young people to go down. They go down with other people from throughout the state, and they talk about government, politics, and run a campaign. And within the group, and it's a terrific experience. Right. John has another guest. John?
Okay, I'm joined now with Ed McSherry, this year's Grand Marshal. Congratulations, Ed.
Thank you very much, John.
Ed, you're like the definition of the American Irish and their members. You guys do so much in the community, and then obviously you pull it all together with this year's, the big event, which is your parade. Lucked out, beautiful weather today, not too cold, not too windy. It's dry, but a lot goes into the parade itself, and of course being the Grand Marshal. That's such an honor.
It is an honor. Thank you.
And it's not an easy selection, obviously. From what I understand, names are put forth by members of the organization, and your colleagues, they all vote and they select who's going to be the honoree. And this year it was your turn, which is great. Ed, you have done so much for the community. No matter who I talk to, everybody, Eddie with the Rampers, Eddie and the Rampers and your guys. And we've talked about that in the past when you've been honored in other areas of the town or other positions. But you do so much for the community. The American Irish, notwithstanding them, I've seen you along the races in the town. I've seen you where you're just standing when you were living here downtown Woodbridge, where you'd hand out water to the runners that would run by you. Like, there's always something that you're involved with. Your family must be proud. I know, you're a proud father of 4, 3 with us still, one in your memories.
Yes.
They're all proud. I know they're here with you today. Talk about what it feels like. What will it feel like when you're walking through the parade route? Well, everybody knows you, by the way, Ed.
I'm very proud. I'm proud to be leading the parade for the American Irish. It's an honor that is bestowed on very special people. My son Brian, and it's an honor to be recognized for things you do in the community for the veterans. I work with a bunch of great guys who donate Saturdays, whether it be cold, rainy, snowy, hot. They come out. We do build ramps for numerous people whenever they need them. Last Saturday we did a job for a little boy who was being wheelchaired down a set of steps every day, and to get to the school bus. That was so rewarding to see him come down that ramp, big smile on his face, and everything the American Irish do, whether it's for the veterans, for the handicapped, for the disabled, or tooling around, it's always a pleasure to work with people that are happy to do it. And this is an honor to have this Grand Marshal given me today, and I appreciate it very much.
You know, Ed, you mentioned a couple more programs, and I'm glad you did, that you get involved in and with the veterans as well. So what if somebody wants to join the American Irish? How do they get involved?
Well, they can either go to our website or they can come to a meeting. We meet every second Friday of the month at 95 Fort Reading Avenue, the Acacia, and it's a great group. And just reach out to anybody in the American Irish or call Town Hall. I'm sure they'll give the information. But we meet once a month, and it's a fantastic organization.
Okay, well, I find myself every year when I do the interviews congratulating the Grand Marshals, and I did indicate earlier, like, you just have the best members of an organization. You really do. And it's amazing that, because I'm not sure even how many members you have, but you always seem to get a great list of honorees. And this year, very special to know you're here being honored. Recently retired also?
Recently retired.
So I guess you're going to have more time to dedicate to the association.
I'll be around. I'm going to be doing the ramps and with the Irish and other programs. So I'll be able to give more time.
That's great.
Volunteering.
That's great. So you heard it here from Ed McSherry, this year's Grand Marshal. Join the American Irish if you have a chance, if you have some time to put to the side. And by the way, you don't have to be Irish to join.
No.
Right? So make that clear.
We'll take $20 from anybody.
That's a great one. All right, Ed, congrats again.
Thank you, John.
We'll see you along the parade route. We're going to go back to Dan and Craig right now.
Thank you very much.
Up next, in the back of the truck, the Ford Falcons baseball team.
That's why you're not on the floor.
There we go. They're the USABL's champions for 9 and under, back-to-back 10 and under, and they're Veterans Day champions as well. So lots of success coming out of the group under the direction of Michael Stankiewicz, the president. Look at this, they even got their own mascot.
And Craig, you spent many a days out on baseball diamond, your three boys, right?
I did. I was the president of Ford's Little League. Now, I think this is a different group.
Probably a travel team, I assume.
It's a travel team. We had a travel team, but it was through the league back then. So, yeah, 3 sons who all played in the league, and I don't know, I was probably there for 20 years because Craig started when he was like 4 or 5, and Nick finished when he was 16 or something.
Yeah,
so
right. Long time.
They're 4 years apart. So
Sure, and we're
6 years apart, I should say.
We're joined here on our screens here, the Girl Scouts. Many troops here. We have so many numbers, I'm not even going to list them out, but the Girl Scouts do a phenomenal job, particularly just coming off their season peak of selling Girl Scout cookies everywhere and everywhere.
We have about 9 million calories of cookies in my house.
Obviously, the program teaches young ladies on organization, running a business, accounting for their money, being persistent, responsible, all those good life skills. So we thank those many parents for getting their students involved.
Yep. Thanks for coming out. Next up, our friends from Perth Amboy, one of the oldest fire departments around, going back to 1881. Their chief, however, is a Woodbridge guy, a guy named Ed Mullen. His dad is also a member of the fire services here in Woodbridge Township, but Ed Jr., I think he's Jr., Ed, who has the same first name as his dad, is the chief in Perth Amboy.
Yeah, and former Grand Marshal Ed the father.
Yep. Next up, the IBEW. That's the electricians for folks who aren't familiar with the term. They're local 456.
They're a new entrant. Craig, we've been doing this a while. I don't think I've ever remembered them before. They've got their signs. They're loud and proud.
Out of New Brunswick.
Yeah, right. With a nice turnout. I assume Kevin and Joe Egan are associated with this local. I would assume.
But Kevin, a current member of the New Jersey General Assembly, and Joe Egan, a retired member, just retired 2 years ago.
Right.
both outstanding legislators and leaders. Right. It's a big contingent. Nice to see them out.
Yeah.
Marching up and down on a beautiful day.
Yeah. Probably the largest contingency I've ever seen. Watch out, Girl Scouts. The IBEW is coming. Now, my understanding of the union world, this is one of the largest and the most growing unions in the country because, electricity, that's our bread and butter these days with, everything running through a circuit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, above an AI, as that comes into being, consumes an immense amount of energy. But that's a discussion, a policy discussion for a different day. Today we're just all celebrating Irish heritage in the great township of Woodbridge. And we just saw the Commodore John Barry Division Number 3, Ancient Order of Hibernians from Perth Amboy. Up on Bray Street, they've been around for quite a while. I don't have a date, but it's been a long time. And they're out joining us.
Yeah. I see 1948 for that group.
1948, there we go. Organized then. Daniel Daly is the vice president. Financial recording secretary is Robert O'Handley. The organizer, Joe Freeman. Charities and missions, Robert Halsey. And they look for freedom for all of Ireland. Established in 1948, the organization was formed for the purpose of fostering Irish heritage and the Roman Catholic religion ideals. Let's take a listen to this pipe and drum band.
Commodore John Barry, Division Number 3, since 1927. Perth Amboy was formed in 1948.
I did not capture the name on that pipes and drum band because the next one we have coming is the Richmond County Pipes and Drum, who are paid for and sponsored by the Woodbridge Fire Department, so they'll be leading them in just out of view here. So we're looking at what I would assume is the John Barry AOH
these are members
group.
of the AOH in Perth Amboy.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
And I assume they have a large presence this year because one of their most active members is Sean Daly, our Irish Man of the Year. So I assume he brought out his many friends.
His brothers and sisters from Perth Amboy, right?
Yeah, that's right. And Commodore John Barry is known as the father of the U.S. Navy, who was an Irish immigrant. And, founded the Navy, and, it was part of the American Revolutionary War, where we didn't have a Navy as a country and competed against a mightier British Navy. Let's see, our friend Greg Aquila.
Yeah,
is,
thanks for that. This is the Relay for Life. Yeah.
I'll take this one. Greg, the Relay for Life is a program run by the American Cancer Society. Woodbridge is the longest running Relay for Life in the state of New Jersey. They raise money for cancer research and care of patients. There's so many different needs for cancer patients during their treatment. They do a phenomenal job. People like Tammy McCormick and her fellow volunteers.
Yeah. Next up, you see the Hope Lawn Engine Company Number 1. Organized back in 1914. The volunteer fire company, of course, they reside in Hope Lawn. The leader is Michael Walsh, the chief, and Brian Turcotte, the president. The leaders, I should say. Terrific service organization. One of the many reasons we're all safe and sound in Woodbridge Township. Great volunteers, great firefighters, people who genuinely care about their community and make it better.
Right.
Thanks for your service.
Right. When I think of the Hopeland Fire Department, I think of the annual backpack giveaway program, Craig, that you and I go to each August, where the town, led by Councilwoman DeJesus, organize a backpack drive, and we do it right at the Hope Lawn Fire Department. The guys are tremendously supportive and just good guys.
Jan, you mentioned the Richmond Pipe and Drums, and here they come.
Right about Staten Island.
Out of Staten Island, sponsored by the Woodbridge Fire Department.
Giving us
regularly members of or participants in this parade.
The beautiful rendition of God Bless America. The bagpipes always give you those chills.
For sure.
Who doesn't love them?
And they are leading in the Woodbridge Fire Department. Those brave men and women who serve every day to protect us. Founded in 1897, just a few years after Perth Amboy.
Right.
The oldest one in the township.
Big, beautiful piece of equipment here.
Black and red, in keeping with the Woodbridge Barons' uniform
that's right.
colors. I think that's probably a coincidence.
Yeah, they're a hybrid fire department, mostly paid at this point. I understand volunteer numbers are down at the Woodbridge Fire Department.
Yeah, it's true. Most
at other, yeah, right. But you know, if you're interested in becoming a firefighter, look at that civil service exam schedule. Consider becoming a firefighter.
There's our friends from Magic 98.3 and Fox Sports Radio. It used to be WCTC. I guess the call letters may be the same, call numbers are the same, but they are now all sports. And speaking of sports, how's that for a lead-in? The Woodbridge Senior Bowling Club, following Magic 98.3. They've been around for a while. Dan.
Right, yeah, I think they got started around Frank Pelsman's time, and then when Mayor McCormick came into office, they needed a room, and the mayor created them their own dedicated space for the billiards club. You know, they have over 100 members, and I've seen in the Corner newspaper they're soliciting new members these days, so if you want to join, it's not only a competitive billiards club, but it's also a bit of a social group.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
they do those fundraisers that you and I go to every year. You know, where they raise, Christmas gifts for kids during the holiday season. They also compete against other towns as well.
Yep. So get out and root for the home team. Group of seniors, they welcome and appreciate the position and the parade. They like to be here. They're good guys. They're nice guys to be around.
Yeah.
And pretty good pool players.
Yeah. Remember those days we'd do those celebrity games where you and I would go and get our butts beat?
Yeah, by real celebrities. The club's founder, Pat Trumbetta, we see him being honored there, a little placard in that windshield.
Yeah, beautiful Corvette. Want to know who he knows?
Next up, Senior Transportation of Woodbridge. Governmental entity, looks like, with the seal on the side.
Yeah.
Followed by Hackensack Meridian, JFK University Medical Center, who they're a proud sponsor of the parade and represented today by JFK EMS. For over 50 years, the JFK University Medical Center has served the community. JFK University Medical Center has more than 1,000 affiliates and physicians and offers a specialized surgery while being home to the world-renowned JFK Neuroscience Institute, JFK Johnson and Rehabilitation Institute, and the Advanced Lung and Airway Center.
We got a new marching band this year.
I don't have their name.
Yeah, our books does not include them, but I want to mention with Hackensack Meridian that they are moving their corporate headquarters to Woodbridge.
That's right. Out by Metro Park.
Yeah, Metro Park there, right?
Right by the train station.
Right.
Very close to the parking deck.
Connected to the train station.
Well, we like that band. They're loud and proud, and they're leading in our next group of firefighters.
Yeah, so it's the Woodbridge Island District 11 Fire Department. These guys are best known for their white trucks.
Jessica Crimmins is the director, and also director of Woodbridge is Catherine Johnson.
Okay. No, excuse me, that was District 9. That's more on the Island side.
Okay. Yep.
Another chief is Mary Wirtz, first female chief in
history of Woodbridge Township.
Right. My elementary school classmate.
Oh, is she?
I don't want to brag, yeah.
Well, she brags about you.
Yeah.
Her dad and her mom and her whole family has really been devoted to the fire service here in the town. Her dad, longtime commissioner, terrific guy.
Right.
Probably been chief more times than I can count.
Sure.
Kevin is her dad, and so she's carrying on in his footsteps. And I was there when she got sworn in. You could just see the pride on his face when he looked at his daughter, first woman fire chief ever in the history of the city or the township. Good for her.
Yeah, very impressive. And like any volunteer fire department, I'll give a plug that they're always looking for volunteers. Check out their website and find out how you can become a volunteer.
All right, and I'll give the plug that I always give to every chief because I get to come in to a bunch of their swearing-ins, and that is that I hope you have absolutely nothing to do this year. Avanel Colonia First Aid Station in front of us now, under the direction of Chief Robert Snowfield. Good guy. They've been around, let's see, when have they been around? Since 1945, Dan. I wasn't even around in 1945. That's a while.
Yes. Yeah, they cover, obviously, Avanel and Colonia, but obviously they pick up wherever they're needed. My conversations with the people in the EMS world, they're always picking up for each other who has a rig available at a given time.
Well, let's turn it over to John Mitch.
Okay, I'm joined right now with Peggy Foley, this year's Irish Woman of the Year for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Congratulations.
Thank you, John.
Peg, I'm not sure exactly how the American Irish decide on who to honor and how they go through the selection process, but I want to just mention, I know for all the years and how I really know you, through people who had food insecurities and needed some social help through St. James, through the food pantry, I always knew send them to Peggy Foley. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with why you were selected this year. And talk about, if you don't mind, what you've done in the community, not just with the American Irish, but let's start with St. James Church, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, I was very active, I still kind of am, in St. James Church. I was a Eucharistic minister, lector, I was chair of the Pastoral Council, and one day when I retired from my corporate life, I'm like, I really want to do something, so I started to volunteer at the food pantry. And the next thing we knew, Peggy Catalano, who did a wonderful job for a long time, retired, so I was asked if I would do it. I ran the food pantry for like 17 years. And then it was like, okay. So then it was like, what else can I do? So I got active with the American Irish. I joined it in 2017 and was on various committees, scholarship, everything. And then I got a phone call. Hi, Peggy. We'd like you to be the treasurer. I'm like, why? But it ended up I had great support. So I'm the treasurer and I'm on about, I think, 7 or 8 different committees. So I was asked and nominated to be Irish Woman of the Year, which is a huge honor. And the parade committee said to me, okay, congratulations, you're the Irish Woman of the Year, which my children were, I think, even more excited than I was.
Well, you're a doer, and everybody knows that, as have I, and that's why you're here, so that's great. Talking about your children, 3 sons, correct?
Yes.
Their names?
Colin, Kerry, and Brendan Foley.
And where's that special heart belong with you right now? Who are we forgetting?
My granddaughter, Rory.
There you go, Rory. Big shout out to your granddaughter.
Absolutely. Who's here in Woodbridge.
Great.
And also my daughter-in-law and son-in-law, Lucille and Ryan, who will be at the parade today, as well as quite a few of their friends.
Great. Let's talk about your connection to Ireland. Your grandparents were from Ireland, correct?
They were, yes.
And what else do we have notable?
Okay, people are just finding out that my ancestor, Padraig Pierce, actually was the leader of the Easter Rebellion in 1916. And a quick story, my grandparents always had a huge picture over the couch in the living room of all these serious men in dark suits standing behind a table with a couple sitting down and signing papers. And my grandmother, from when we were little, would tell the story of, that's the Easter Rebellion. And our ancestor, Padraig Pierce, and she'd point to him in the picture, he's responsible, blah, 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 and we'd get the whole story. And I would get it all the time growing up. So now, fast forward, I'm in high school, and I have European history. So we get to the part, and they're talking about the Easter Rebellion, and I'm ready. I'm like, I know all about this, right? So I'm studying it, and I find out at the end of the chapter that all the men in the suits in the picture were all executed. So I go back to visit my grandmother to have a cup of tea, and I'm like, Nanny, you forgot to mention all the men in the picture were executed. Oh, sure, I didn't want to upset you. She says, you know, you were young.
A little bit of detail.
I'm like, that's a big detail you forgot to tell in the story. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay. So yes. And when Mayor McCormick introduced me this morning and saw that fact, he goes, so basically you're a rebel? I said, I guess I am. It's in my blood.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for sharing that story. Congratulations to you on the honor today. And we look forward to seeing you along the parade route.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thank you very much,
You're
John.
welcome. And we're going to go
Thank you.
back to Dan and Craig.
MCDO, the Middlesex County Democratic Organization.
Yeah. They're go ahead.
Yeah, there's some of their candidates and elected officials and the vehicles behind them.
Yep. We saw many of the county commissioners come on by. I saw Commissioner Rios. Oh, there he is in the car. I thought he was walking, but I definitely saw
Commissioner Director. I think he had knee surgery?
Correct. Right. Yeah.
So he's in there. He's the director of the Middlesex County Commissioners. But we also saw our own Charlie Kenny. Our own Charlie was a longtime firefighter at Woodbridge, former councilman, along with Charlie Tamaro was here. I saw Charlie. I saw Leslie Koppel.
Right.
Not sure if I saw anybody else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't remember picking up anybody else.
But Caseby Fire Department.
Yeah, here we are with the Caseby Fire Department, another 100-plus-year-old fire department here in Woodbridge, down in the southernmost end of Woodbridge, founded in 1908. They're led by their chief, Jack Croft, and they are similar to many of our other fire departments here in Woodbridge Township. They're a hybrid. They have some paid firefighters as well as some volunteers. And I also think of them much like the Hope Lawn Fire Department. Every year we have the Caseby backpack and school supply giveaway.
Right.
They're always big supporters. They come out, let the kids try on their equipment, fire the fire hoses, and really great experience. Build rapport with the kids. So, Craig, we've got this cool, nifty-looking truck in front of us here. Do you think they're with the Blessed Sacrament Golden Knights alumni?
Here they are. I didn't have that. I can hear them. Here comes a pipe and drum leading in Cub Scout Pack 53. The Barnegat Bay Pipe and Drum from Barnegat Bay.
Had a number of pipe bands this year. My experience as a parade chair, they're not easy to come by. Craig, I would mention this earlier in the telecast. There's 30 parades in New Jersey in a 4-week span. So you're really competing on, across 8 holidays, 8 Saturdays and Sundays, I should say, for a limited number of pipe bands.
Yeah, and that's why, if you ever wonder, find folks who are having a parade in the pouring rain, it's because there wouldn't be any pipe and drums if you tried to make it up the next week, because they're all off. This is their busy season.
Sure, absolutely. That's the moneymaker here. Of course, not an easy gig either.
No.
I think they're going to put on a performance for us here. I think they might do Amazing Grace here, like years past.
Let's take a listen. Enjoy it, folks. Sit back, relax. we go. Pipe and drums of Barnegat Bay. Thanks for being in Woodbridge today.
Well, I have a moment to catch up here. We missed him during the telecast. Was parade chairman Kevin McCreary.
Oh, terrific job, Kevin.
All right, Kevin did a great job, but he's understated, so to speak. It's not one who loves the limelight, so perhaps this worked out perfectly. Plays a bigger role during the Christmas parade, as I think we all know. But first,
he
let's
has a
get back to
personal
the action.
contact to Santa Claus, I hear.
That's what I've heard. So we've got Pack 53 Cub Scouts out of Fords, New Jersey.
The ones my kids went to.
Okay.
And the same leaders there, Robin Hill and Jim Leonardo.
Been around for almost 75 years now, teaching the students great life skills, and they do a lot of volunteering throughout the township. Really good group.
There also are some other leaders: Ray Nevis, Kirsten Hartlieb, Kristen Gironda, Gavin O'Shea, Justin and Tiffany, Tiffany, I'm sorry, Soderholm, and Jim Leonardo, as I had mentioned. Up next, our friend from the Middlesex County Board of Commissioners, Charlie Kenny. We talked about you a little bit before. Welcome, Commissioner. Nice to have you here. Nice to be home, right? As we said before, you're a Woodbridge guy through and through. Had a long and distinguished career with the Woodbridge firefighters on the Woodbridge Township Council, and now you have a bigger role in the county. So, welcome.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a beautiful day.
You see our firefighters from Colonia, all volunteer fire group. So, Charlie, what are your impressions of the day?
Beautiful day. When you come down Linden Avenue and the crowds are out, you know that the weather has cooperated.
Yeah.
Because they're all out there. They're all celebrating St. Patrick's Day. It's great to see people come in from throughout New Jersey to come see this parade.
When you turn the corner on Linden, there were literally hundreds of people you could see. So sort of like the sidewalks were all crowded. It seems like they narrow out. Some people standing on the edge of on the side of the street. It's just a terrific experience. Nice enough weather, right?
I was just going to say, it's a crowded parade when people have to stand in the shade.
Yeah, exactly right.
But yeah, it's a beautiful day, and the American Irish Association, as I'm sure others have said, do a wonderful job putting this parade on, putting it together. The whole crew, from the parade committee to the parade marshals, who really have the tough job setting everybody up at the high school and making sure we all stay on task. They do a great job, and it shows off Woodbridge Township. In Middlesex County, we also have the South Amboy Parade. It shows off Middlesex County in a sense too, which is great.
And there we see our friends from Strickland, the newest, it's not brand new, but it's been around for years. Fantastic steakhouse right on Main Street, winning all kinds of accolades for being one of the best around. Mike Strickland, a Woodbridge guy from Port Reading, is the owner, so come on out and frequent the fine dining that you can have there. It really is nice, great place. It's the restored bank building, if you're not familiar with it. And it's a real upscale setting, so please come on out. St. James School. Did you go to St. James, Charlie?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
K through 8th.
Really?
Yep.
So did you have your 10th anniversary yet?
Actually, Bobby Golden one time put a 25th anniversary together for the graduating class, and it was something. You see a lot of people that you normally wouldn't see.
Yeah. Of course, St. James, an institution on right here in Woodbridge, the crossroads of St. George's Avenue and Main Street. Majestic kind of church on the top of the hill there. And certainly the sponsor of the St. James Street Fair, which is an annual fall event that everybody goes to. It really attracts thousands of people.
It was big in my dad's life. Growing up, Depression era. The church played a big part in helping out families and doing what they could for them. So it's always been a big thing.
My home section, Ford's Fire Company. Yep, I live in Ford's. Howie Bauer is the chief. I think serving like his 5th term or something. It's not consecutive. So You can't get it out of his skin. But a terrific guy, also a councilman from the 2nd Ward. They've been serving the community for 114 years. A lot of fire. I remember, it was probably 10, 12, 15 years ago, all the fire companies having their 100th anniversary. And it goes really fast. Seems like it wasn't all that long ago, and now I see it's been 114 years.
I think last year was Woodbridge, or the year before that was Woodbridge 125th.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But anyway, while we're got a break here, thank you to the American Irish for everything that they did putting this parade on. It's great to see the people out in Woodbridge having a good time. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody, and enjoy the springtime weather that's coming up.
That's right. It's supposed to be nice and warm this coming week. I saw 66 on Tuesday, so how about that? Break out the shorts. Sean, how's everybody doing? Getting ready for the parade. Let's take it away.
I'm joined now with Sean Daly, this year's American Irish Man of the Year. Congratulations on the award.
Thank you very much.
So tell me what it's like to be selected, and I know you've done a lot of work up to this point.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I something I would never expect. I just do what I do because once I joined this club and see everything that they do and all the good that they do and everyone they help out, I just got addicted to helping out and doing whatever I can when I can. I never expected anything out of it, but they thought that it was a good idea to select me this year, and I'm not going to lie, I love it. I'm taking all advantages.
Absolutely. You paid your dues. I know over the years since I've met you, I know you chaired the parade, a lot of work into chairing a parade.
Yeah.
You've put together the 2nd annual halfway to St. Patrick's Day event, which I believe was behind the high
right
school,
here,
right?
Yes, right behind high school.
Just explain that, because people might not put that together real quick. What is that about?
Well, halfway to St. Patrick's Day is basically September 17th. It's halfway to March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. So, the Irish, we never want to have one day for our holiday. So we do as much as we can. And since we're halfway there, we really focus on, just keeping it going. And we have a good time. Irish step dancers, of course, Irish soda bread. And, we have, all just different events of, Irish clothing we try to sell or anything. Just, keeping the Irish traditions alive.
And I picked up on, you just admitted the Irish don't end the celebration. It just continues.
Yeah, we just keep it going.
Absolutely. Some of the other things that you do for the American Irish Association, the blood drives.
Well, we started a blood drive at our home over at the Acacia Center. We did our first one in December, and it was a success, and we're going to keep it going biannually. Our next one is going to be June 29th at the Acacia Center, 95 Port Reading Avenue, from 10 to 4. So anyone who wants to come out and donate blood, with each donation, you save 3 lives, and we're all about helping. And I'm addicted to donating blood. So now that I get to help out and run a drive, I just feel even better as a person to help out as much as I can.
That's great. You're actually the first person today that mentioned the Acacia Center because it's new still. It's only, 3 years you're in there? That's your home, so to speak? It's all the years the American Irish have put together this parade, but done so many other programs in the town that a lot of people probably don't realize, but you finally have a home, and that's working out well?
Yes, it's working out real well.
That's really good.
Yes.
And I want to go back to just being your honor this year. I know you're also very involved in St. James Church. Right?
Yes.
You're still involved in there, still being an usher and doing what
whenever
you can do.
Whenever they need me, whenever I can help out, I'm there to help out.
It sounds like whenever anybody needs you.
When you learn from the people in this club, especially like a person like Ed McSherry, our Grand Marshal, how do you not want to be there for everybody when you see how he is? I just get addicted to helping whenever I can, and he's a great role model for that.
Well, absolutely. The best of the best.
Yes.
Listen, Sean, congratulations again. We're going to see you along the parade route.
Thank you, John.
Okay?
Okay.
We're going to go back to Dan and Craig.
The Almacy Companies LLC's antique cars in front of you, all decked out with its shamrock for St. Patrick's Day, and it's the appropriate color, beautifully painted green.
Yeah, I think that car is Bill Almacy's pride and joy. Really loves that. It's gorgeous, of course. It's done a phenomenal job keeping it restored.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know antique cars well enough. I don't know what kind it was. So somebody at home is probably telling us. If you're watching live, put it up somewhere so people can see. There's the JFK marching band, appropriately arrayed in their green uniforms, green and white, followed the Mustangs.
The director is Josh Cabrera. Percussion instructor is Brandon Eberhardt. And their front ensemble instructor is Elena Cuesto. And guard instructor is Alexander Riesig.
This is their 60th season of the marching band. They had an extremely successful competitive season, coming in second at the Region 7 Group 3A Championships for Best Music, Best Percussion, and Best Color Guard. That's pretty good. The marching band went on to take third place at the New Jersey State Championships, nearly reaching a record high score for the program, and coming in second place in Music and Color Guard, third in Percussion.
Sure. And their numbers look very strong. They sound great. I know anytime I go to a JFK football game, you know, they add tremendous life and have great coordination with the cheerleaders as well.
The JFK Mustang Band.
And a shout out to those
I
parents.
don't know, that percussion sounds pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I don't know how they came in third.
Yeah. I have to give a shout out to the band parents. They do a tremendous amount of work getting the students to and from, presentations such as today. Students don't carry all that. They do lean on their parents to some degree.
There we see the Avanel VFW Post 7164 Auxiliary. We just saw the post members before.
Right.
Veterans Organization in Avanel, right by, not far from Pelsman Park.
Right. That's right. That's right. We're there a couple times a year for different, Veterans Day, Memorial Day. They have some, they have a Labor Day picnic.
They do.
Really,
yes, they do.
really nice job, keeping veterans active in the community and vice versa, and engaging the public with the veterans community. So great job.
Participating in things like this.
Right.
Next up. Oh, no, it's still part of the auxiliary.
Right. Well, I'll finish on Kevin McCreary. We took a break from the parade chair. So he's got that connection to Santa Claus. He brings them to town every year. He's also, when he's not active with parades, he's active with the Woodbridge Exempt Firemen's Association as a financial secretary, a volunteer with the Avanel Fire Department, and he works for the Woodbridge Township Recreation Department in various capacities. And he's a retiree, so he's able to devote all that great time to the Woodbridge community. Kevin, to you and Jay on a terrific parade. Congratulations. And Jay, we look forward to your work next year as a parade chair. Thank you.
There we go. Next up, Choices Medical Care from, I don't know where they're from. Life Choices Resource Center.
From Metuchen.
And Metuchen. Thank you for coming and joining in the parade.
We're thinking about it.
I don't know if we have any other information, but hey, thanks for coming up.
Make that work out.
They helped families since 1985, giving hope for life to all who come to be blessed by God's graces.
Right. Seem to have an affiliation with the Knights of Columbus.
It seems so, yeah. Then we see some firefighters. It's from Avanel, I assume.
That's correct.
Yep, there's some Avanel members.
Avanel Fire Department's located there at the intersection of Route 1 and Avanel Street. They're over 100 years old, and what I remember about their 100th day parade, speaking of parades, was it was the summer of the cicadas.
Yep, I remember that.
As we're walking from the fire department down to Merrill Park, we have cicadas in our hair. Man, it was rough. But it was a great party afterwards.
It certainly was, and a great celebration for a great organization and a lot of service. So thanks to all of the firefighters, brave men and women who serve at the Avanel, as a member of the Avanel Fire Department.
Right.
District number 5.
Right. Yeah. Annually, Craig, you and I typically work our way over to their tree lighting and menorah lighting. Usually the first one in the town to kick things off, usually on that Monday night.
Yeah, they
always
are.
Beautiful, beautiful evening. They do a great job, and they're growing and growing.
Such a great season. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? We're looking at spring, but we're talking about the holiday season. But I'll tell you what, the holiday season is something special in Woodbridge Township, right?
Yeah.
The first weekend after Thanksgiving kicks it off, the light parade, the It's tree lighting. It's just a special time. So
Right.
got all that to look forward to. But first, we're going to have a wonderful summer. Well, we're going to finish up with we're going to start with a great spring because it's right around the corner. And now we kick that off. It's really kind of the kickoff of the spring season, the St. Patrick's Day Parade, right?
That's
around
right.
the corner. Professional baseball starts at the end of this month. NCAA basketball is wrapping up. The Final Four around the corner. So, and then it's on to summertime. So.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to start seeing some buds on the trees. The weather's warming. Really looking forward to it.
It is nice to have all those seasons. We hear somebody who's with us all the time.
Sounds like the Ragtimers to me.
There is. Holiday parades. St. Patrick's Day Parade. There they are. Fred Lahate and the Ragtimers. From Jackson, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Fan favorite. They also typically perform during the Woodbridge Holiday Parade every December. Every time I talk to the Recreation Department, they say they're the most popular group in the band in the
Let's take a
parade
listen.
annually.
Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? She roams the whole night long. I'll do the cooking, honey. I'll pay the rent. Yeah. I know I've done you wrong. Remember that rainy evening? I'll put you out with nothing but a fire to go. I know I'm to blame. Well, ain't that a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come on home? Hey,
There we go. I'll bet you there's a lot of folks watching on Facebook and YouTube who have never heard that song before. Welcome home, Bill Bailey. That song wasn't new when I was young, and that's quite a while ago. But a great rendition, a lot of fun to listen to. Fred Lahate and the Ragtimers. Followed by that, looks like South Amboy.
Right, yeah, South Amboy Day Parade organizers there.
we
So
go.
Valtar out there. I'm sure Mickey Gross.
Mickey Gross, Councilman Mickey Gross, Council President Mickey Gross. In fact, that's him. You can't see him, but he's walking down the pathways. South Amboy, there's Mick. South Amboy's parade next Sunday.
Right, next Sunday at 2 o'clock. Finishes up on Broadway. I would recommend those listening who can't get enough St. Patrick's Day parades, head down to South Amboy next Sunday.
It's a lot of fun.
Always a great time. Greg, you and I walking that one too.
Yep.
And, equal to this one here in Woodbridge. There's a friendly competition between the two.
Yeah.
But we won't get into picking the winners there.
We're going to take a quick break. John Mitch.
All right, so I'm here right now with Alessandra McFadden, this year's Miss American Irish for the American Irish Association of Woodbridge. Congratulations, first of all, on the honor.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about what it means to you to have been selected for this and talk about your relationship with the club, with the organization.
So my grandparents, Kathy and Jim McFadden, they're longtime members, and they introduced me to the club. My parents are also members, and it's a really big honor for me.
And what do you do with them? Do you attend some of their events? Do you get involved in some of the committees?
Yes, I go to the park cleanups.
Okay.
And I help with that.
Okay. And you're a sophomore?
Yes.
At Arthur LJ in Clark?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you do in school?
So I'm in a lot of clubs. I'm Key Club Secretary. I'm Public Relations Officer for my class.
So that's probably lining you up for college down the road. And what are you thinking about doing in school?
I want to study communications.
And where are you thinking about going?
Somewhere in Florida.
A much warmer climate than
Yeah.
here. Although it's not bad out today. It's a beautiful day. Well, maybe it's for you. Maybe they're planning for you. So that's great. So congratulations on that. We wish you well. Get ready for the big wave as you go through the parade route and enjoy the day, okay?
Thank you.
And we're going to go back to Dan and Craig.
That is the Heritage Dance Company right there smack in front of us.
very fittingly out of Greenbrook, New Jersey. How about that?
Looks like they're lining up to do a little performance for us. The Irish dance isn't just for the Irish, they want us to know. At the Heritage Irish Dance Company, classes are open to boys and girls aged 3.5 and up, and are a great way for them to be active, challenge their minds and bodies, and make some new friends. With classes in Woodbridge and in Greenbrook, their dancers learn self-confidence, stage presence, coordination, discipline, and time management. Their dancers enjoy both performance and competitive opportunities and are currently preparing to compete, listen to this, Stan, in the World Championships in Dublin, Ireland, and the National Championships in Washington, D.C. Good luck to the Heritage Dance.
They look fantastic out there. If it was a little colder, they'd be a little stiffer, but it seems to be warm enough out there to put on their performance. Crowd has hung in there as well, despite a little bit of wind. As we've got to be toward the about 80% complete through the parade there.
People don't know about you, Dan, that you were quite an Irish step dancer back in your youth. Competed competitively throughout certainly the state region.
my two left feet out there. All right, next up, going from my dance career, my short-lived dance career, to the Middlesex County Division of History and Historic Preservation. Carrying their banner there.
The Low House.
Advertising the East Jersey Old Town Village there in Piscataway.
If you haven't gone there, folks, go. It's fun to see. It's a terrific learning experience.
Sure. And I believe the Cornelius Low House right now has a sports exhibit going on right now, if you're into sports. All about New Jersey sports history. All right, we have some reenactors coming on screen here, looking the part.
There we go. The Cornelius Low House and East Jersey Old Town are open year-round, in case you want to know. You should call and check on the hours. They can constantly rotate the exhibition, and the power, right now, the hometown pride, the power of sports that you talked about, Dan, in Middlesex County, exploring Middlesex County's strong sports heritage. Take a stroll through Middlesex County's historic past. Go. This is a replica, reenactors of the Hearts of Oak, which was formed back in 1775, a volunteer militia based in New York. Militia members were primarily students at King's College. Among their ranks was an 18-year-old you may have heard of, Alexander Hamilton, who had already published several radical articles in the New York papers. On August 23rd, in 1775, the Hearts of Oaks were instructed by Continental Captain John Lamb to join his forces and attempt to steal cannons from the battery on the southern tip of Manhattan. It was during this mission that Alexander Hamilton first got a taste of battle, as well as taking the first steps towards making a name for himself. You can see the Hearts of Oaks at the village. That is the East Jersey Village.
All right.
Next up, from your home section.
That's right. Actually, I just want to go back just real quick to Port Reading First Aid Squad, which we'll cover just momentarily. But we'll talk about the Colonia High School marching band first. Apologize to the Port Reading Squad. We'll get back to you momentarily.
50 members.
Led by their teacher, Kevin Perdoni. Students have an opportunity to take music class right there at during school hours, as well as participate after hours.
Assistant directors are Ben Barbado and Jeff Leidner. Instructor Nicole Donahue. Color guard instructor.
And like the previous high school marching bands, they perform around 30 school and community events each year, including the football games, competitions, parades. And the band will be traveling to Boston, Massachusetts in May to perform at Northeastern University.
Drum majors are Roxanne Ratsanak and Chai Krishna. Let's take a listen to the Marching Patriots.
Sounds terrific. They look terrific. Colonia High School dates back to 1967. The third of the 3 Woodbridge Township School District high schools. Right. Back to the Port Reading First Aid Squad. They came by with the Rigger 2. They're located on Port Reading Avenue and West Avenue. Founded in 1970. They're led by Chief Dan Egan, and their president is Councilman Brian Small. And they provide medical services to Port Reading, Carteret, and other surrounding communities. Thank you for their service.
And we see members of the Woodbridge Township Domestic Violence Response Team. Thank you for all that you do. Those are folks who are really dedicated to helping other people at what is often the worst time in their lives. They'll come out in the middle of the night. They're always on duty. They always care, and they always do a terrific job. So thank you for what you do. Thanks for making Woodbridge a better place. Enjoy the parade. Next up, the Colonia First Aid.
Lorry Ambulance is here, along with the Woodbridge Township Ambulance Rescue Squad. As mentioned previously, they obviously help cover one another, in and outside their general service area as needed. And they're largely a hybrid as well. Paid professionals and volunteers supplementing their resources. Looks like we've got it trying to mimic St. Patrick on the bike there with a
there we go
in the stroller there. We have some Irish facts here during this minor lull here. St. Patrick is said to have used the 3-leaf shamrock to teach the Christian Trinity. Also, a little Irish history for you. I was reading this on Irish history last night. There's been a steady flow of Irish who have come to the United States over our, the 400 plus years since, Columbus explored the New World, if you will. But really exploded in the 1840s and 1850s due to the Great Famine, where Irish looked to leave their homeland for better opportunity and food, among other things. And they came here to the U.S., Canada, Australia, South America, so on and so forth. And here in Woodbridge, they came here for work at the clay pits.
There we go. Got a juggler and a stilt walker. We saw a truck go by with somebody. I don't know who that was.
He lost the pin there. Must have been the wind.
I jinxed him by merely saying he was a juggler.
I hear some real rock music coming behind him.
That would be the Island Fire Department. The rocking Island Fire Department. District 11.
I don't quite see it. All right, there's the band. I was going to say, is that the fire truck?
I don't think so. Where's the band?
The band is on the flatbed pickup truck behind them.
Okay.
Back to John on the street.
I'm now here with the lady in waiting, Caitlin Ann Driscoll. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much.
We're standing out here at Woodbridge High as we're, getting ready for you to do your parading through downtown Woodbridge, waving to everybody. I know, let's talk a little bit about you. I know you are a Middletown South High School freshman.
Yep.
Correct? Okay.
Correct.
Your connection, what's your connection with the American Irish? I believe your grandparents?
Yes, my grandma and grandpa, John Reitman and Barbara Reitman.
Okay, so they got you involved in the organization, or they made you go to all these events over the years?
Yeah, we would always, I just remember as a kid every year going to the parade and sitting on the blanket with my younger cousins.
A lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
And now you're the lady in waiting in the parade.
Yeah,
So instead
and
of
now
you
I get-
waving at everybody today is going to be waving at you.
Yep, I get to wave to my baby cousins, which I'm so happy about.
Oh, that's really great. So as lady in waiting, what is your role in today's, or are there other things that you need to do during the course of the year?
I don't think it's really what you have to do. I think it's just like showing up for the events and like participating and also giving back to your community. I think that's like a really cool thing to get to do.
Now, speaking about that, because I read your bio and you have given back, it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Your passion seems to be for acting.
Yes. 1000%.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I know you've been in quite a few shows and plays.
Yep.
And which ones? Let's talk about those.
Oh my god. Right now I'm doing for Middletown High School South Footloose, and then for the Middletown Arts Center I'm doing 13. Over the summer I'll be doing High School Musical, the musical.
Cool. Very good.
And then the most recent things I've done are Radium Girls at my school, my first ever drama, and Elf Jr., and then I've also done The Lion King, Willy Wonka, The Wizard of Oz. I've done.
That's great. That's wonderful. And I know you're a freshman, so a couple more years away, but your thoughts on going to college possibly?
Yeah, I think I want to go to college.
Acting?
Definitely.
Definitely. Where are you thinking about going?
New York.
Okay.
Close to Broadway and stuff.
Oh, there you go. Good. So hopefully you'll get your foot in the door.
Hopefully. Praying.
Very good. Well, listen, congratulations on your honor of Lady in Waiting. Wish you well. Enjoy the day. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. It's not too cold. It's a little bit windy, but we can weather that storm anytime.
Yep.
All right. So again, best wishes on behalf
Thank you
of
so much.
everybody here today, and we will see you along the parade route. Okay.
See you along the parade route.
You got it. And we're going to go back to Dan and Craig.
Moby Dick's longtime new Woodbridge establishment in Seawarren for a good time, for good music, good friendship, and loud and proud.
Got a ZZ Top look to them this evening. Head on down to Moby Dick's at Seawarren for dinner, a beverage, and some live music.
The group is called Devil's Harvest. Tracy Lee Cordos is their entertainment manager, and they brought their friends on their motorcycle. Head down to Moby Dick's. They've been around for many years, raising money for fundraisers, and rebuilding Woodbridge, and Wounded Warriors in their annual groups.
Making a little bit of noise here is the Latin Knights Motorcycle Association.
This may also be the Latin Knights Motorcycle Association. I didn't see a banner, but they are in the parade as well. They're based in Perth Amboy. Celebrating Irish heritage. Latin Knights Motorcycle Association is a charitable organization that does community service for their community and aims to improve social well-being. I don't know if you can hear me, but
Yeah,
that's who they are.
Loud.
They're doing their level best to make sure you don't know who they are.
Right. I've heard that motorcycles are purposely made loud, so when you're driving, you hear them. And,
Yeah, I know.
You know, move over and knock them over, but
because otherwise you can.
Yeah. But when they're on top of each other in idle,
It's pretty loud.
they certainly make a lot of noise.
Next up, the Port Reading Fire Department, company number 1. They've been around since 1904, Daniel.
Many moons ago.
Chief is Daniel Kurinsky, and their president is Councilman at Large Brian Small.
Brian sure keeps himself busy. Similar to the Avanel Fire Department and Colonia Fire Department, they've got a nice tree lighting that happens every year. They do a respectful Memorial Day program that I usually hit. Another hybrid paid and volunteer fire department if you're interested in joining. John, what's the word on the street?
Okay, I'm joined now with Kevin McCreary from the Avanel section of Woodbridge. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you.
This year, you have the task of overseeing the whole parade as the chairman and making sure all the components are put together.
A lot of work.
Yeah, definitely a lot of work. What goes into that? I know obviously you have a committee, but what goes into that?
This year, last year they started doing it digital. We did it digital this year, so it's much easier to do. I have a good co-chairman, who's Jay Cost. He did a lot of the computer work and all that stuff that needed to be, all the invitations, along with Mary Alice and,
of
all
course.
of the guys,
Of course.
George and
yes,
the best. Mary Carroll, Lori Carroll,
absolutely.
all of them. So,
okay.
Yeah, they did the bulk of the work. I just basically oversaw everything, make sure everything was
So
getting done.
you're overseeing that to make sure everything is put together. You're
Correct.
overseeing to make sure the fundraising is being done, the bands are being ordered and everything, or requested. Prior to this, though, what else have you done with the American Irish Association? And I will say, I know that you put in years of service with the Avanel Fire Department. You put in years of service with the Woodbridge Exempts Association.
Yes.
But what else do you do with the American Irish?
Volunteer as much as I can, whenever I can, and wherever if they're doing it, if I'm available.
Right.
Eddie's been after me to do it with the rampers, but I haven't been available.
Sure.
And a few other things, but I've done the coin toss, all that kind of stuff, in front of the Avanel Firehouse.
And on
So I've
top
done
of
and
that,
everything and stuff.
on top of that, you're working.
And working.
I know.
I'm working 2 jobs actually.
Yeah.
I'm working over.
I see at the ramp down at the boats. I've seen you over at Cypress Center.
I'm still
doing
there.
your services there.
Still doing that. Yep.
And so you're still living in Avanel with your wife, Marge,
Absolutely.
right?
We're there 49 years going on.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Long time. And
Married 51 and a half. No, 50 and a half.
Okay. All right. And your son Kevin's here today?
Kevin's here.
Okay. Very
Yep.
good.
He'll be marching down. He'll be marching, and my son Kevin will be walking down.
Okay.
Down Main Street. I might have my sister-in-law in the car.
In the car
She's
with you.
from South Amboy too.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, listen, I want to thank you on behalf of everybody today that gets to enjoy the parade with all the work that you've done and put into it in your committee, and we're going to see you along the parade route.
Yep.
Okay, Kevin?
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
We're going to go back
Thank
to
you.
Dan and Craig.
Go to
Thank
Dan
you.
and Craig. Okay.
Next up, we see another a business, the First Choice Heating, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electrical, family-owned HVAC business based in Metuchen. Welcome to Woodbridge. Thanks for participating.
All these businesses that are in the band, Craig, they have to donate a certain amount of money in order to, otherwise you don't want any business sort of taking advantage of the opportunity.
Right.
So the Irish does fundraise from them and put it back into the parade, really.
And there are some folks from Complete Care.
Yep.
Don't have much.
Yeah, Complete Care at Whispering Woods is an assisted living facility in Edison. Joining us for the first time. Greg, and I have been doing this a while. Looks like they just want to get out in the community, make sure people know who they are in case their loved one needs some assistance.
Complete Care.
Assisted living.
Exactly right.
Welcome. And thank you for the support of the
Come
parade.
on back.
The Miatas of New Jersey.
There we go.
Greg, you've driven one of those before, right?
Yeah, like I have one.
We got to get you in the parade.
Yeah, maybe when I'm done doing the broadcast in the years to come.
Yeah, looks like a fun little car.
It is a fun little car to drive.
It's a lot like the Corvette Club or the DeLorean Club that we've seen in years past.
Yep.
Looks like you got a Hardy membership here.
Huh. I agree. It is fun. Take the top down.
Absolutely. Get a little wind in the hair.
Yeah.
There's quite a few of them.
Tough to talk on the phone, though, I can tell you.
I bet, right? Because it's a manual, right?
Take it away, John Mitch.
I'm joined now by Ken Gardner. Ken Gardner, a former Irishman of the Year, a former fire chief here in town, former director of the American Irish, but consistent often with the raising of the funds that take to put together this parade. Ken, let's talk about sponsorships. Let's talk about some of the businesses in town and out of town that sponsor today's event.
Great. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate being with you here today. And the parade is run by the all-volunteer American Irish Association of Woodbridge, and we raise all the funds for the parade. We have two platinum sponsors. Coming back has been with us for more than 10 years is Hackensack Meridian JFK University Medical Center. Always a mouthful, but they're a great sponsor being with us. And this year we're so pleased joining us as a platinum sponsor is Strickland Steakhouse on Main Street, Woodbridge. So please go for a steak and tell them the Irish sent you. We also have our returning silver sponsors, a great local pub that's been with us for years, Moby Dick's. We also have the Lightbridge Academy that takes care of child care. We have a new business that started in Avanel, and we're happy to announce they just moved over right to Main Street, Lavish Tales Pet Spa. And this year also joining us, we have 1020 Paving, a good local company we hope you'll consider.
So Ken, becoming a sponsor. So what does the sponsor get out of their sponsorship, and what are the funds used for? A lot of people probably don't realize you have to pay for certain bands to come. You have to pay for some of the floats. So what are some of the items that you need for the funding for?
Well, that was great timing by Strickland Steakhouse. Float just pulling by us, a little bit more advertisement for them. So the sponsors and our ad book and those that make donations to the parade literally fund the parade. We have to pay for the bagpipe bands, we have to pay for advertising, decorations, and things of that nature. So if it wasn't for these businesses sponsoring these things, we'd have a bagpiperless St. Patrick's Day parade, which wouldn't be very much fun.
No, not at all. Well, thank you, Ken, so much for all you do for the American Irish. And again, you were right, perfect timing with Strickland's as they came by, and of course with Moby Dick's float behind us, two big sponsors, so we thank them for that. We're going to go back to Dan and Craig right now.
Should be our final marching band.
Yep, marching band, pipe and drum band. I think.
Yeah, we don't have their name, unfortunately. With the DB Kelly Pipes and Drums had to pull out yesterday.
Okay.
Craig, I don't know if you had heard that.
I did not.
Too many of their band members are ill.
This is Saint somebody. I apologize. Well, maybe we'll see when the drum goes by. The banner was blowing up, so we couldn't see it. It was preventing us from seeing the name.
Right.
Here we have.
But they are
they're about to go loud and proud.
Yeah, they're going to be closing our parade, our final marching band of the afternoon.
As we close, yep. Let's go. Here we go. St. Columcille.
They're certainly new to this parade.
Welcome. I don't know where they're from.
Yeah, they look good and they sound good.
Behind them, the parade marshals, which means, Dan, we've reached the end of the parade. Let's hear it for the parade marshals. Read them off real quick. George Aston, Mary Alice Jacko, Alice Sinatra, Ken Stiles, Daniel Jacko, Ken Gardner, Jessica Jacko, and Mike Pedersen, Katie, Casey, and Quinn Wright, Thomas and Matt Costello, and Kate Toscano, Maureen Jurgensen, Margaret Mirror, Kyle and Mike Heaney, Joe and Sheila Sawyer, and a special thanks to the Mayor's Advisory Board for their assistance. Our special thanks to our hosts here at El Ranchito, Woodbridge's premier Mexican restaurant located at 51 Main Street. Thank you for them and for their hospitality. Our audio and visual presented by our award-winning team at Woodbridge Channels, headed by Gina Forbes and her entire team. Dan, why don't you give them a shout?
Yeah, thanks for our camera crew. We have Emil Brandolfi, William Rubiano, Clinton Higgins, and Samantha Roth. Followed up with our technical engineer, Bruno Martins, technical director, Joe Fernandez, and the indomitable director, Gina Forbes.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
And that'll do it for the 51st annual Woodbridge St. Patrick's Patrick's Day Parade. Thanks to the Mayor's Advisory Committee, the police, the police auxiliary, the Office of Emergency Management and CERT team. We just saw we see their vehicle going by, and to the Public Works Department for all that they do. Another terrific parade, Dan.
Yes, outstanding. A beautiful day. That always helps.
Right.
As we heard from all of our special guests, the parade turnout must have been spectacular from start to finish, really. And, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you come down to downtown Main Street here. It's booming down here. The businesses are succeeding. And, we're thankful to all the businesses that give us an opportunity to host our parade here today.
For any of you watching live, you want to get out, the party continues throughout the township, throughout the rest of the afternoon. The official celebration is at the Acacia Center for the parade, but other places throughout the town will be out celebrating. So on behalf of my colleague Dan Harris, Craig Coughlin saying thank you all for watching and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, folks.